Wesley from ACONNECTIONTV, the network, and I am here on the one channel on YouTube where we actually adopt similar connections despite our differences. And I think there are quite a few differences and connections that we have with this particular episode of Roa. Now, I apologize that I didn't do my review last week. Some of you guys are actually waiting for it. I'm so sorry, but if you watched my real world video, then you know that I've been going through some shit. And if you haven't watched my real world video, then go watch that shit, because I've been going through some shit. But at the end of the day, we're gonna adopt similar connections despite our fucking differences, because this particular episode of Raw was the episode that we've all been waiting for. And it continues next week, and I'm so thrilled. Not thrilled at the fact that there's so much drama and so much violence and so much physicality amongst black folk, or amongst people, period. But just the fact that it's nice to have some men get crazy and crunk and act ignorant. And it's nice to see bitches run, because Chuck was running. Chuck ran from that situation. I don't know what kind of football Chuck played, but Monique, okay? Monique, whatever, mistake, Monique, whatever. She was the one covering her husband. We start this episode off with Dwight and Phaedra meeting up at this mansion that cost $4,000 to rent for the day. Phaedra is throwing the president a blessing ceremony, okay? And she's going to go all out, like she got it like that, spending over about $15,000 for this particular party. Phaedra, you got it like that, so you got it like that. I just was curious as to the reason why Dwight pulled up in that car. I mean, I wonder how much he makes from these events, because that car didn't scream, I make money. Am I the only one that questioned the car? Cynthia speaks to Peter about going to the pajama party that Nene wants to throw. Now, Cynthia is kind of like a wannabe Kenya. And what I mean by that is Cynthia will be willing and ready to start some drama. And when she does speak about certain situations that would probably cause drama, she mentions it lightly. But it's like with the intent of hoping that drama will be caused, because she's like, well, I just want to tell you about Candy and what she said. She said that you had a past and you were doing some crazy shit. And I'm thinking to myself, Cynthia, really? Are you really trying to stir the pot? I mean, okay, be open and honest with your husband. Let him know everything that's been going on. That's fine. But the way that she did it was just really, really iffy for me. And then Peter was like, well, I'm going to ask her what she had to say about me, because there are repercussions and consequences if you speak about someone behind their back. I'm like, oh, Lord Jesus. Peter, please. Peter, can y'all really imagine Peter not getting a fucking lap dance when he goes to the strip club? Are we really going to believe that? A man that does not get any pussy at his house from the beautiful Cynthia Bailey, you mean to tell me this dude is not living to get that lap dance from Shapingua at the motherfucking strip club? I don't believe that. Who's gonna believe that? And if Cynthia believes that, she's dumb. We move on to Kenya. Kenya is looking to become pregnant. She finds out that her ovaries are rotted out. You can blow on it, dust is coming out from her pussy cavity, and she gets sad. Then she's told that she has the ability to go to a sperm bank and do it that old which way. And I'm thinking to myself, aw, Kenya, I feel bad. But really, like, if you're gonna become a mom, get off of Real Housewives of Atlanta, because you need to really, like, straighten up. I think that Kenya can really be a grandmother. I really do. But I think that her Real Housewives of Atlanta life is causing her to be someone that she really isn't. I don't know. Kenya doesn't seem authentic and genuine to me watching her on TV. When I watch Kenya on Real Housewives of Atlanta, I get a character from her. That's what I get from her. I think the realest person out of the bunch is Candy. that really, like, she's her outside of that, and she's her on the show. Like, she's the realest one to me. And then second would probably be Nene. I think her new life now makes her act that way off and on camera. I don't know. I don't know. Something about Kenya just rubs me the wrong way. But I really hope she gets pregnant. I mean, I don't know what you want me to say about that. We get to Phaedra's throwing the party for the president, the blessing for the president. And this is the time when we really see that there's some anger involved between Apollo and Phaedra. Mind you, I don't know if you guys have heard all of the rumors. You know, Vibe magazine had this lady come forth with some alarming allegations that Phaedra herself, Apollo and Apollo's brother were all involved in, I don't even know what you would call it, car trafficking, embezzlement, fraud. You know, what the lady was saying in the video, from what I watched and from what I can remember, were that they were stealing cars from dealerships and selling them on the street. And, you know, that would involve a lot of fraudulent type of situations to occur. Apollo goes to jail along with the brother, and then the female went to jail. Now, apparently the plan was that Phaedra was going to represent them all of the time whenever they had some run-ins with the cops. Long story short, that's been a huge rumor, and that's been a rumor for a while, I believe, even since last season. But come to find out that my best friend told me that Apollo was actually arrested and went to jail recently. So I'm gonna Google it real quick to see if I can find anything, because you know Google always has the tea and crumpets. Yes, so it says that Apollo was arrested in ID theft. Okay? Real Housewives of Atlanta star Phaedra Parks' husband, Apollo Nida, was arrested on Friday. Oh, Jesus. It's fucking Google with their damn advertisements. Google. Was arrested on Friday on charges of bank fraud and identity theft. There has been some dispute regarding whether or not police actually came to arrest Nida or if he turned himself in. According to the Atlanta Journal-Constitution, Nida allegedly created several fake companies to gain access to various databases that he used to steal a vast amount of information from people. He then allegedly used that information to open fake bank accounts in the victims' names and snag their U.S. Treasury checks, retirement checks from several Delta airline employees, and checks for some of the victims' unclaimed tax money, the report said. Nida is currently out on $250,000 pre-trial bond, but is scheduled to be back in court on February 12th for a preliminary hearing. Nida's alleged partner in crime was also arrested, and she reportedly has said she's not interested in protecting the reality TV star. Gayla St. Julian, a woman identified as Nida's aide in the scheme, was arrested in September and allegedly had $3 million in various bank accounts linked to her. She said that the $3 million she received from the scheme is only scraps compared to the huge amounts of cash that Nida raked in. Wow. Y'all can Google that, okay? Y'all can Google that, but Apollo and Phaedra obviously have some issues, obviously have some problems because they were not getting along at the president's blessing. Let's fast to the forward, okay? Because I don't think there's anything else worth talking about except for this freaking party. Now, Nene is excited. Of course she already knows drama is going to come out of this. She probably planned it for the drama to come out of it. I don't think Nene wanted the physical stuff to come out of it, but she knew that some drama was going to be aired out. Nene has this thing now where she just wants to keep it all the way real. Everyone shows up, everyone's a little excited, a little bewildered at the fact that Nene invited everyone here. They're kind of like, what's really the plan? But, you know, they have a good time nonetheless. And, you know, things are very light in the beginning. I mean, they're asking questions like, do you want your partner to be passive or aggressive in the bedroom? I mean, it all depends on your mood, right? Every time is specifically different. Like, I don't always want to be the aggressor, and I don't always want to be the passive person. Like, sometimes I feel like a nut, sometimes I don't. And I'm sure everyone can adopt that similar connection with me. You don't always want to be, well, some people always want to be aggressive, but I don't know. The next question was, are you comfortable being around someone who has slept with your mate? It's kind of hard to get away from that, especially when you've been in the same state for a long time, in the same area for a long time. It's hard to get away from that. I mean, look at the cast of 90210. Everyone slept with everyone. And they got through it just quite well. It happens. You know what I'm saying? It happens. It's not something that you would always want to happen, but it happens. You know, when I go to parties and when I go to settings, I like knowing that the person that I've been with has not been with someone that I know, or vice versa. It's a beautiful thing. That's my shoulders off. Knock on some wood. But, because it even gets a little, not aggravating, but it gets a little weird and strange when you find out that a friend of yours is a friend of someone that you've been with. Not even that they're together now or whatever, but they're friends. That's weird to me, because it's like, damn, everyone knows everyone. And it's just like, when you know that you've slept with someone and then someone you know knows that person, is like, now they might know what the situation is like. And in the bedroom, you kind of want to keep that kind of stuff private. But nonetheless, I mean, you can't avoid it. So you just have to deal, right? You just have to deal. Peter's like, I mean, I'm cool with Leon, and we already know y'all banged and had a good time. I mean, y'all have a child. So, I mean, you just, like I said, if you've been in the same state for a while, you just have to roll with the punches. Kenya finally gets there, and Nene closes the door on her. I'm like, oh Lord, here we go. Kenya comes in, she's like, hey everybody, hey. Nene's like, hey bitch, you're late, bitch. I'm like, damn. Kenya walking in, Nene, you look fabulous. Nene's like, yeah, I know, you don't. I'm like, damn. Nene slit Kenya's throat 15 times in the same direction. Waited for blood to gush out, and nothing came out because Kenya's like dead. So she slashed again in the opposite direction, and then blood started to sip out a little bit. Because Kenya was sitting there feeding, she was eating that shit up. She was like, I'm going with the wind, fabulous. Nene's like, you didn't text me. You didn't text me, that's rude, you didn't text me. Kenya's like, yeah, you know, I'm wrong, I'm sorry, I didn't text you, I'm sorry. Blase blah. So we move on past that. Brandon is like, what the fuck did I just step into? So then we get on the topic of, do you feel uncomfortable when your man looks at another woman? And then that's when Peter chimes in and says he hasn't gotten lap dances, and he says everybody needs to be real because all the men go to the strip clubs, and he pointed everybody out. He said Todd goes, Apollo goes, everybody goes to the strip clubs. Let's be real, let's be honest. But I've never gotten a lap dance at these strip clubs. I died laughing, literally, because I'm like, Peter, you are a freaking lie. You are a liar. Candy's like, don't do that, don't lie. Don't lie like that. Then Peter's like, yeah, Candy, we've been at the strip clubs together. And she's like, yeah, that's why I'm saying don't lie like that. Because, yeah, you had a stripper on your lap. Peter's like, really? I did? Oh. Come on, son. Really, Cynthia? Really? So then Nene concocts this plan to get all the drama to pop up, like Tanisha from Bad Girls Club would say. And she's like, well, Kenya, let's keep it all the way real. What do you think about Natalie when you said about Christopher calling Natalie common law wife or some bullshit? That whole episode was whack. I really didn't care for that episode. The whole thing at the winery, that was all whack. The only positive highlight from that was when Candy was like, okay, well, if you think that Todd is an opportunist and he went for the highest thing on the top of the mountain, then he got me. I thought it was cute how she handled it, but at the end of the day, the whole winery thing was bullshit. But anyway, Nene brings that up. And Natalie's like, yeah, let's get into it. Christopher gets up. Okay. I'm thinking to myself, Okay. Here is a man that sang beautifully, mind you, to Cynthia Bailey for Cynthia and Peter's anniversary. Here is a man that seemed to have some kind of level of integrity, level of poise and maturity. I mean, the brother says that he does not go to strip clubs. He doesn't need to go to strip clubs. He has a wife at home. Okay, common law, whatever. Okay, but this dude gets up to address a female. I'm thinking to myself, why the fuck is he getting up? Like, I'm like, why is he getting up to address her? He's like, okay, first of all, I don't know what kind of medication you're on. King is like, the same medication you're on, Christopher. When Chris got up, Brandon stood up. Brandon got up like, wait a minute. What does dude think he about to do? Like, Brandon went to get the cock to the side. Brandon went to get the cock to the side. He was like, well, hold on. What we about to do here, partner? Like, because I'm like, why is he getting up? That would have been me. If I would have been sitting there with my best girlfriend, Tiffany, shout out to you, Tiff, I love you, boo-boo. And homeboy got up to address my girl, I would have been like, wait, hold up, bruh. Sit down, like, what you doing? She was like, Portia was like, Chris, do you want to sit down? Chris like, nah, I got this. Natalie's like, nope, he gonna stand for this. I'm like, bitch, Natalie, get your bitch ass up. You want to have your man fight this woman? So they go back and forth. They got words going back and forth, and then Kenya gets up to walk towards Natalie. Oh God! I'm thinking to myself, ain't Natalie a workout girl? She got abs. She got like 19,000 abs on her stomach. Natalie better get up. Natalie better get up, because it seemed like Kenya was backpedaling, and I really don't respect that, because I mean, if you're gonna keep it 100, keep it 100. Kenya was backpedaling, and so Natalie was like, no, don't backpedal now. Then Kenya gets up. No, what I said was blah 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 blah. Then Chris goes to grab Kenya, like, wait, hold on now. Like, you're not gonna approach my wife. But at the same time, Chris, why is your bitch ass up? Why is your bitch ass up? That's what I'm thinking to myself, right? Brandon, he already reads it. He sees it. He reads it and he sees it. He's like, what you not gonna do? You ain't gonna touch her. You ain't gonna touch her. Get your hands off of her. I'm like, oh shit, here we go. I wonder if Lawrence would. I wonder if Lawrence or Derek J would have got up. Because Brandon ain't hot. Brandon is him. So I'm wondering if Lawrence and Derek J would have got up for Kenya's ass. I'm just wondering. I don't know. I'm just wondering. So, didn't something else happen involving Brandon before the last season? I don't know. Am I wrong? Anyways. So Peter, out of nowhere, and wasn't it between Peter and Brandon before? I don't know. Peter out of nowhere gets up and whoosh, like forcefully pushes Brandon back. And I'm thinking to myself, what the fuck was that for? Out of nowhere, Brandon, he gets all hype and what you not gonna do? And I'm thinking to myself, bruh, the dude that's really holding you back is the dude that you should be really forcefully doing all of that on, because Peter pushed the hell out of you. It wasn't even Christopher. Then Apollo bring his fine ass up to do some shit. And I'm like, where the fuck his bitch ass come from? Why is he even up? He gets up and he grabs Brandon by the neck and forcefully throws him down on the beam chair. Brandon like, who the fuck you touching? And then Brandon go to get up, and then Apollo just bum rushes, get down, and then Brandon push him in a headlock and they start scrapping. But at the end of the day, I'm like, why is Peter holding Brandon down? Why is Peter holding Brandon like, stop? And Apollo, Apollo fighting and fighting. Kenya and Phaedra trying to break Apollo off of Brandon. Brandon ain't taking it. He like, get the fuck off of me. Get the fuck, all the while trying to get this dark ass piece of meat off him. That black motherfucker Peter. I was mad at this moment because I couldn't understand for the life of me why the fuck Peter was holding Brandon down. Brandon just trying to defend his friend that Chris is grappling on, and out of nowhere he gets thrown down by the neck from this ex-convict who had nothing to do with this situation at all. I don't know. Greg hemmed up Chris so fast. Nene was like, Greg, I got him, baby, I got him. He ain't doing nothing. Come on now. You got to get back. I'm like, damn, Greg, old ass Greg. Chuck up in the back of the corner like, Chuck behind Monique like, oh, baby, what's going on? I ain't involved. I ain't touched nothing. I ain't say nothing. I'm like, what the hell? Chuck punk ass. Todd is in the middle, holding Chris back, pulling Chris back. Apollo went ballistic. That shit was crazy. It was crazy. I'm thinking to myself, at the end of the day, Peter was wrong for pushing Brandon the way he did. Apollo shouldn't have got his punk ass up. Christopher shouldn't even approach Kenya the way that he did. These some pussy ass men. Like, these some straight pussy ass men. I can't wait to see what's gonna happen next week because I'm thinking to myself, the only real OGs in this whole fucking situation is Todd and Greg. Peter was punk bitch for holding Brandon down, and Apollo was punk bitch for getting involved in something that ain't had nothing to do with him, and Chris was punk bitch for putting his hands on Kenya and for getting his punk ass up. When not Monique, but the Natalie, I mean, oh my God, I was so aggravated watching this. But next week, next week look good. I'm sorry, Kenya didn't have to get up. But honestly, Kenya was not gonna do anything to Natalie. She wasn't gonna do anything to Natalie. Chris shouldn't have got up. I think if Chris wouldn't have got up, Kenya wouldn't have got up. Cause Kenya wasn't gonna just sit there and get pressed. She wasn't gonna do that. Obviously, we see that she wasn't gonna do that. But I don't know. There was a lot of wrongs in this situation. Chuck was a punk ass in this situation. But the shit's gonna get even better next week. I'm telling you, Real Housewives of Atlanta was good. This particular episode, if you missed it, you missed some hot shit. Nene was wrong. And that's just it. Nene was wrong. Chris was wrong. Peter was wrong. Apollo was wrong. Period. That's what it is. I'm Leslie from ACONNECTIONTV. Tell me what y'all think about this review. Like and share this video on Twitter and Facebook. Follow me on Instagram at ACONNECTIONTV and subscribe to ACONNECTIONTV on YouTube, people. Deuces.
Like this video. Like this video. Like this video. No.
Click that thumbs button right deep. Click that thumbs button right deep. Click that thumbs button right deep. I don't know where the fuck is that, but click it. I don't know where the fuck is that, but click it.
Like this video.
Click that thumbs button right deep.